One of the things I'm really aware of is that even those of us who did spend time with Ron in person, watching these videos is such a great reminder and a reliving of the way that he taught and the way that Hakomi came through him, really as a transmission.
Yeah, he was a genius kind of thinker, very broad thinker. And so Hakomi was informed by what he read, whether it was science or psychology or poetry. And you wouldn't understand that if you don't see him working, if you don't see him with his students. He was always in front of, a large group of students.
Yes, when I showed one of the videos to a group recently, I was noticing how much I could remember different moods he was in and different attitudes almost. And he could seem to be really serious and then get really playful. And he had a kind of impish sense of humor. But he was constantly inspired by something, whether it was a New Yorker cartoon or whether it was a Ken Wilber book. And he brought that into his way of teaching the method. And I think the videos capture that.
I think they also capture how much inspiration he took from students.
Right.
Because when I watch these videos, I know he's in front of a group of students and he is just so attuned and tender. And some of the clips that we show are in response to a question or perhaps a piece of work that he has just done. And I can feel that the whole room has been moved. And then he's inspired to talk a little more deeply about some aspect of the method. But it's in response to the people in front of him who he had great trust in that they could learn this method.
Yes, he was constantly demonstrating and expressing the kind of presence that we can talk about, but that when you see him interacting with people, whether he's teaching or demonstrating the method or just being playful before and after a module, he's embodying presence and loving presence in a way that, talking about it is just kind of pointing at something that has to be felt. And the videos capture that, don't they?
They do. And what's touching for me is that I know how ill he was in his late years. And so these videos all come from 2008 on, and he died early in 2011. And so you can see that he's sometimes very tired. You can see sometimes that he's really putting everything he has into these final years to try and have people understand how he viewed the method in his later years, because the method evolved.
He got tired physically, but he never got tired of Hakomi. He never got tired of teaching this. He never got tired of helping to refine the way he could express it and teach it and to make it accessible for people. And so there was never, a sense of him repeating himself as if he was tired of hearing himself say it. He was always so alive with how the method was evolving and staying alive and morphing into something even more and more elegant, I think.
Yes, and when I'm watching these videos, I am learning so much, just the way he languages his ideas and in a way that I have never heard him language, and it opens up the method for me. They're just precious nuggets of his teachings.
And there's a way that you and I both are so inspired to share what we experienced in person with people who didn't get to meet Ron in person or didn't get to spend time with him in person, because these videos capture the essence of him and the nuggets, as you're calling them, of his teaching. and makes it makes Hakomi come alive. It makes his presence real for people. And I think it's just an invaluable resource that we have, that there was so much recorded that we can share with people who never met him.
Yes, as Ron says himself, he has over 500 videotapes that are now sitting in my basement, and a whole team of us have been going through to view them and pick out these particular uh, teaching clips. So I'm very excited, and I'm very committed to sharing these with the community, and particularly the new ones coming in, who can feel the spirit of Hakomi, and when they feel that, they're going to recognize that it comes through him.
Well, this might be a moment for me to read the message that I got from one of those new students who was in a group that I was in the other day, and shared just that brief 3 minutes of Ron talking about loving presence that you flipped and sent to me. And he wrote to me after that session. He says, "I never met Ron, but as I get more of these chances to hear you talk about him and soak in his presence and vocalizations in the videos we are watching, I really feel this deep sense of here's a man who just knows how to make fear melt away, all with a real playfulness, sense of wit, and just the perfect amount of mischievousness." So, people are responding to seeing these video clips and really getting what we're hoping to share with people, which is the essence of this creator of Hakomi.
Yes, and I would like to emphasize that anyone who has even the smallest amount of Hakomi experience will benefit from these videos.